What's up, Super Bricks Bros here, and I just wanted to do a video about my MOCs that I've made over the past few weeks. If you watched my update video, you would know that I was going to do this. So let's get right into it. So the first MOC here is the White Spaceman Brickhead, and he looks pretty good overall, I'd say. I used some of these 2x1s with ridges here to get the bottom of the helmet and not cover up too much, because if I put a white 1x4 there, it made him look like a ninja. And then the front here has gold planet instead of just a normal white one like that used to have before it rubbed off because it's really old. And then on the back, I'd say it looks pretty good. The tubes here were the hardest part of the build, and I'll show you how I did that. So what I did to make these centered both ways, as you can see, because this piece here's stud is centered completely in the middle of a 2x2, so I had to do an interesting build. Alright, let's take his head off. Alright, so here it is without its head. As you can see, I used a jumper plate there to center it this way. So to get it centered this way, you put that tube right there, right inside the hollowed out part of that 2x1, and it goes in right like that. Also, I used some more of these 2x1 with ridges to fill up the gaps in there. So when it's completed, you don't see any of the gaps back there or anything like that. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Alright, so this next MOC here was actually not built by me. It was built by my brother. It was inspired by the Han Solo teaser trailers, which features all those awesome land speeders shooting around all over the place. My brother is the other bro in Super Bricks Bros, and he built this. So one of the most interesting parts about this is this whole front section is built upside down, and I'll show you why. So it's using these giant pieces here, and when you put one of these here for the curve of the ship, like that, it is not flush with that line, whereas if you build the whole thing upside down and put that curve slope there, it is completely flush with the bottom. One of the other cool things about this is you can lift up these flaps, and inside there are some computer system things, or some mechanical stuff. The last cool thing about this was actually designed by me. This joystick in here is just a screwdriver stuck straight into this little hole there, and it can jiggle around really well, actually. Alright, let's move on to the next MOC. So my last MOC here is a giant brick-built Iron Man. He's honestly really huge and hard to fit in my area I have for recording here. So here's a quick pan of him. I'll have to go through him section by section. So I can't take credit for the basic design of this build. The original design for a figure like this was made by Paganomation. I'll put a link in the description for that YouTube channel. I and my brother completely remodeled the whole thing. Changed up the hands, changed up the coloring, changed up the design on the face and the body. Anyway, it's actually modeled off the classic Iron Man. I looked up some images and made this. So that's why it has the yellow piece in the center instead of a trans blue. Also, quick thing about the hand here. The original design I had was for this to just be like that, and it would spin so freely. So I tried a couple things, and eventually I came up with the idea to use this piece. And it slows down its spin amount, and it increases posability. One of the things I do with this build is I put my Lego Ant-Man right there, and it's pretty well to scale. I mean, technically this piece is bigger than an actual ant, and look at it compared to my thumb. It's a pretty big ant already, but it works. So the bottom half is the legs. The crossbar doesn't look that great, and the legs are pretty weak if you have something standing up on it, but it's got really great posability. You can pose it in almost any direction, any way. And that's it for the video. Please vote in the top right corner on a poll of whether you want to see more MOCs done by me or not. Give it a like, and please subscribe.